We started our radar penetrating research on June the 2nd, 21. As of yesterday, we have hit 751 unmarked graves.
Cowessess First Nation Chief Cadmus Delorme says the graves belong to children connected to the Marieval Indian Residential School that operated in the community from 1899 to 1997.
This is not a mass grave site. These are unmarked graves.
The graveyard was run by the church until 1970, until it became a community cemetery taken over by the First Nation. Chief Delorme says they plan to search and put names or at least headstones for each unmarked grave.
We didn't remove these headstones. Removing headstones is a crime in this country. And we are treating this like a crime scene at the moment. And we will know more as we continue our research.
He adds that our oral stories included stories of unmarked graves at the residential school site.
Over the past years, the oral stories of our elders, of our survivors, and friends of our survivors have told us stories that knew these burials were here.
Elder FLORENCE SPARVIER, who is now 80, attended the Marieval Indian Residential School and says she is glad that the world is hearing the truth now and how our people were forced to attend these residential schools.
I'm 80 years old and I went to boarding school down there. I was taken by my parents to go. At that time, if the parents didn't want to allow their children to go to boarding school, one of them had to go to jail.
SPARVIER says the residential schools stripped us of our Indigenous identity and made us feel ashamed of our culture and language.
When we became assimilated, they made us think different and feel different. So it's a lot of the pain that we see in our people right now.
Chief Bobby Cameron of the FSIN says the churches need to hand over the records so we can identify these spirits that are being uncovered in unmarked graves.
We try to put ourselves in the eyes and the bodies of these children who are now being found in the ground, who have been waiting for decades to have a proper burial and to be honored properly amongst our own protocols, traditions, and customs. And a small First Nations voice said, "They found us. They found us."
Priscilla Wolf, APTN National News, Saskatoon.